Hey everyone, it's your girl, Miss Ann Local. I'm live. I'm gonna make this short because I am running behind schedule. I just posted something on my page that I was supposed to post about 2 hours ago, but I ran behind schedule. It is my fault. I do apologize, but I had to take care of some things. I want to say this, and what I want to say is that with this lawsuit, expect changes on YouTube. Expect changes on YouTube from all of us. Whether we follow rules, whether we don't follow rules, whether we are ethical in our reporting, or whether we're not, whether we slander people, whether we don't, whether we disrespect and disregard different ethnic groups when we're doing content, or whether we don't. We are now all going to have to be responsible. And all the reckless stuff that's been going on. And I'm not talking about people talking and cursing, but I'm talking about the real gutter behavior that you've seen the past 3 years from 2018 to, no, hold up, no, 4 years, 2018 to present. It's over. It's a wrap. So all the people that was making all the money bragging about, I used one of my YouTube checks that I got to buy me a Range Rover because I got 50 stacks. I made 50 racks. Or, you know, I basically, got a couple of bricks or something. I'm talking legal terms because I worked in a bank. So that's why I used to make bricks. So all this stuff is a wrap. Watch the money lessons because I just spoke about it yesterday on my channel, my main channel. All YouTube got to do is see something now that they feel, oh, we can't have nobody come for our money. They're pulling people's content. They're not even like saying, oh, we're not going to monetize that. They're pulling it to say, if you want to still have this channel monetized, get rid of this, or we'll get rid of it for you. They want a clean slate so that they don't have to be held liable in a court of law. And you could thank Latasha, Transrena, Howard, Kibi, and Shekna, Kibi Studios for this. They did this. So your free speech that you was using on YouTube, yeah, you could say stuff, but you better be careful with it because now it's going to be condensed. Now they could drag you, somebody famous could say, oh, I don't like how you keep talking about me. You slandering me. Because don't think that people aren't going to use this as a stepping stone for other suits. Because guess what? Bobby Lights is now suing. He's filing his lawsuit against Tasha K because she lied and said that he had an STD, which he even proved a couple of weeks ago that he doesn't have. Okay? You got other people that this woman has harmed suing. Okay? Lawsuits coming in. This thing is going to open Pandora's box. Okay? And YouTube is at the epicenter because YouTube could have stopped it. Google could have stopped it because they own YouTube. But no, they was creating their own platform. They was creating YouTube TV to challenge and compete with cable, which they're doing pretty good. But now their reputation is somewhat soiled because a YouTuber ended up in court because they didn't want to stop the nonsense that they was doing online. They were so engrossed in having fun slandering somebody. And look at what it did. Tasha K has been ordered to pay this woman 7 figures. I called it back in the new year. The day before New Year, I said Tasha K. I said Cardi B will win her lawsuit against Tasha K. I called it. I called it 3 years ago. If you go back to my old videos, I believe it was December the 18th, I uploaded a video. It's still up. Cardi B wants to file a lawsuit against Tasha K. All right? And I was against what Tasha K did from the beginning because a month before that, I saw what she did when she flipped on Jessica Reed and lied. And she lied on Star. Now, her and Star and her husband, they're cool now. It is what it is. But she lied. He caught her. Then you got to go back to the very first person she lied on. A lot of people are going to be shocked. Kaya Shimon. My neck, my back. You know what? I'm going to go down and scroll down on all the names that Tasha K hurt people. Even people that we don't like. I'm going to go down and give all the names of people that she didn't like. And if I'm wrong, just comment and just say you're wrong or I missed some names. So the first person she hurt or screwed over or basically, like didn't want to be bothered afterwards. And these are the following. March of 17, S.C. Berry. Okay. Then the summer of 17, Rashida Frost and Kirk Frost. Okay. Then we go down to the winter of 18, Kaya Shimon. Now, she talked a little greasy about Monique, but she pulled back because it wasn't making any money. Kaya was fun for her because Kaya is not likable, especially when the man who managed Kaya said she didn't even own the song My Neck, My Back. Kaya told her, keep my name out your mouth when it comes to my business and personal affairs because I can prove to you that you're lying. Kaya wanted to sue Tasha K, but Kaya decided not to. Then we go into the summer of 18, Jessica Reed. Then she goes into her and Star, but I said her and Star patch things up. And then she even tries to throw Choke No Joke under the bus. But around that time, she made friends with Phil of the Device Show and Lovely T. Now I'm going into the era of Harm and Cardi B. Now, she goes in on Cardi B, also goes in on Nicki, but makes alliances with Nicki. Then Star Marie gives her the interview. Then from their point on, the fans go in on Cardi B. And then other people talk. The streets are hot. And then she goes after Star Brim. Star Brim. Hey, Vulcan, what's up? Yeah, she went after Choke. She went in on Choke. She did. Then she ends up going back to supporting Jessica Reed. Then she talks about Charlemagne the God. But then she pauses because she ends up having her content reported on the Breakfast Club, thanks to Angela Yee. Then she goes in on Remy Rojo. And then Remy Rojo basically is not feeling it. Then she starts to beef with a up and coming blogger on YouTube named Armand Wiggins. Then she has a falling out with Lovely T and Geisha 305 because of the tape phone conversation. Then Malibu Dollface ain't feeling her. Then she goes after Sweet Martha Life, which was deplorable. I will always say that. Then she makes friends with another blogger. That blogger is warned to not be cool with her. And then they fall out. Can't think of the name right now, but I can see the face. Then she makes friends with Storm Monroe as a mentee to replace Armand Wiggins. Then, yep. Well, I was introduced to Tasha K. Bulkin through just happening to see her video as a recommendation. Okay. Oh, let me go back in time. Before anyone, it was Tokyo Tony. That's who it was. It was Tokyo Tony. So it was Tokyo Tony. It was SC Berry. It was Kaya, My Neck, My Back. She tried it with Monique, but then she pumped her brakes. I don't think she wanted none with Monique. You know. Then she went after Jessica Reed's Star. Star, her became cool eventually. Then she snaked. She was trying to go for Nicki Minaj. They became cool, but Cardi B was the one she was really going after. Then it was Star Brim, Remy Rojo, but in between, it was Lovely T. Then it was Armand Wiggins, Malibu Dollface. Oh, Mona Simone. That's who it was. Then it was Sweet Martha Life. Then it was somebody else. No, she made friends with Storm Monroe. Okay. She makes friends with Storm Monroe. Then the whole BX, Brooklyn, Brim Bruds, she claims they're after her. Then she starts having a lot of fallouts with other YouTube bloggers because they're like, I don't want to deal with you. You're trying to crush my page, FUB. Who the hell you think you are? Neek at Night. That's who it is. Neek at Night. So that's number 16. Neek at Night. Then it's like number 17, Neek at Night. There you go, Vulcan. She was the one that put her on. She gave her that exclusive interview because she needed to reach 200K subscribers based on the people who was investing in the Tasha K brand. And this is why I've said so many times, Tasha K was able to get away with the stunts that she was pulling on YouTube because the people that was connected with her in terms of that invested in her brand, they was cool with people in YouTube. And you can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise. You can't tell me otherwise. Okay? Then she ended up kind of calming down when them papers were served. Because if you remember, she had the baby. She was pregnant. So then she goes after Dennis Byron. This is when we knew this woman was crazy. Because this woman basically had the paper served. And Dennis Byron basically was like, he was reporting because he lives in Georgia. So it's like, you're basically like being served. She gonna tell TMZ to kiss her ass and then threatened Dennis Byron. Then she gets a YouTuber named Jovi Beauty. Jovi Beauty, I used to really listen to Jovi Beauty back in the spring and summer 18 because me and her we was both up and coming at around the same time. But Jovi Beauty Her videos were very good and very clean and very smooth. So because her videos were clean and smooth, she did more visuals. I do more audio commentary. So she, because of the whole thing, she didn't really have anything against Cardi B, but she started joining the bandwagon to attack Sweet Mar for life. And that's when I was like, I can't rock with you. I can't. Because now you being a bully because somebody's telling you to bully someone else. So then when the whole Dennis Byron thing happened, she jumped on the bandwagon and was bullying him. And Dennis Byron basically let it be known, I know you got a criminal record. You was on the island when you was a teen. And there was a video of her where she was on the island and she had a criminal record because she slit a girl's face. And she was part of a set of, I believe it was Blood. And he told her, you a follower. And he said, I could destroy you like that. You need to watch who you working with and who you working for. Because Tasha K not going to save you. Lord, the minute he put her business out on Front Street, she was done. Jovi still makes videos, but you don't hear from her. So her little alliance she had with Tasha K, it was a wrap. Then this other lady was trying to bully Nicole for bullying Sweet Mar for life for Nicole. For Tasha K. And that was fizzled because Dennis Byron basically ended all that bullying shit. Okay? So moving along, number 18, she goes after Jovi Booty Vulcan. Yep. She goes after the infamous Perez Hilton and tries to talk about lie on him. And he made a video saying now he hates Tasha K. And I'm an old school Perez Hilton fan. I go back to the golden era of the Perez Hilton blog. When Perez Hilton says he hates you, that speaks volumes because people hated him. But even the hate that people had for him was nowhere near the hate that he had for Tasha K. Because she lied and said that Tasha K, she lied and said that Perez Hilton emmed his children while they were in the shower. This is what she did. Yep. Oh yeah, yep. It's long. There's more people that she did dirty. There's more. Then the summer of 19, we got to go back to R. Kelly. Now, this is something that I just heard today. When the Surviving R. Kelly documentary broke, remember the two girls, their names are Joycelyn and Azriel. She knew they were lying. She knew that Azriel was lying, but she wanted to get the story because she wanted to be the person to say, I got interviews used to basically help convict R. Kelly. Now it came out today that she said that R. Kelly might be innocent. Remember the whole thing with the trial recently with the person that worked in the courtroom that was given information that Tasha K was paying to get information so she could report it firsthand? Expect Revolver Sylvester Kelly to appeal his verdict. I won't be surprised if they throw it out based on Tasha K, knowing that she's now been held liable on damages with the whole Cardi B case. Yep, Azriel Clary. Hey, Icy. Yep, Azriel Clary and Jocelyn Savage. Yep. So that was all basically 2 years ago. Then she was still messing with Armand. Armand was basically, trying to, build up his brand. Then it's alleged that she sent out the King of Reeds to basically, try to dampen his content. Then, according to Armand Wiggins, shout out to him because he's been, straight up about this whole situation from day one. He used to work for Maddie, T.S. Madison. And, they had like a bad falling out, so to speak. when Tasha K and him was, on that quote unquote mentee relationship, he told her, I was, at one time working for T.S. Madison. She basically gets an interview with T.S. Madison and the fake mentee, Storm Monroe, that she was using the whole time is there. She even tries to get her to talk bad about Armand, and Madison wouldn't do it. And from this day forward, because of that, him, Armand, and Madison, T.S. Madison, are cool. Also, she does not like transgender people. It's been alleged. And not saying that she don't like them at all, but she's not really cool with them as far as she makes it seem. For instance, Armand Wiggins last week mentioned the whole Jessica Kahiner situation. Jessica Kahiner is a person who used to be Jacob Kahiner. He was once an openly gay man. Now he's an openly transgender woman. But Jessica does not show her face anymore for whatever reason. I don't know. Well, Jessica and Tasha K were cool at one time. And Tasha K was all, lovey-dovey and everything with her. She tells Armand, like, I don't really want to be, I don't really want Jessica around me, because I don't want familiar spirits coming around. I don't want familiar spirits coming around my children and my child, But you kikiing with Jessica. But now you don't want her around because she's transgender. And that's the thing. Today, the woman's a user. Now moving on to 2020. Okay. She's still drunk. She's still, acting a buffoon, clowning around. Now, 2020, because of the whole thing with the pandemic, everybody was, sort of having a soft spot. So Tasha K sort of calmed down just a little bit. And there wasn't a story to really break. So it really was, still talk about Cardi B or talk about other people, talk about Robert Kelly, or I could talk about other people. But Jaguar came. And when Jaguar came, she wasn't interested in interviewing Jaguar at first or even making friends with her until she saw that Armand did not want to talk to Jaguar. Because if you remember, Jaguar wanted Armand to get the interview, and he said no because I think she's lying. And then she started calling him everything but a child of God. She did use the F word. And then that's when Tasha was like, oh, I really like Jaguar. Jaguar is real. I believe everything she's saying. And then she all of a sudden wanted to interview her, but then Storm Monroe got the interview. And remember, she even was doing Storm a little dirty. He was a casualty too to her. Then she decided, well, Storm got $1 million from the first video and then $300K from the second and third. I might as well do the interview. And the way she did Jaguar, I would say to a point, she did Jaguar dirtier than Cardi in a sense, because the one thing she didn't do with Cardi, she never went to Cardi's family. This woman went to Jaguar Wright's ex-husband, Jaguar Wright's cousin, Jaguar Wright's nieces, one of the nieces that was on Bad Girls Club. She went to the mother. She even tried to go to the mother-in-law. Okay, the former mother-in-law. She even went to someone in the industry, and she even interviewed Jaguar's artistic son. That's a dirty bitch. Oh, but no, it gets better, because then she goes back to basically beefing with Neek at Night, and Neek is done with her by then, basically telling people that Neek's lingerie is basically the shit was funny. She basically accused Neek at Night of selling flimsy lingerie. She even tried to make the accusation that Neek at Night's lingerie was basically made by, like, those people that work that live in third world countries, and they only get like maybe a quarter for making the clothes like slave labor. That's what she was saying. And it was bad, but she tried to do the Nick at Night. But Nick at Night kept the rule. She said they were never friends. It was just somebody that she basically, was, working with online, making association with. But the reason why she did Nick at Night dirty was because she tried to set Nick at Night up with Storm Monroe. And Nick was like, I know you gay. I'm gonna be honest. I know you not. You back for the same team. And he was basically trying to, in quotations, mac to her. And it wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. Lioness of Judah is the other person. That's who it is. She tried to do Lioness of Judah dirty on the whole the slumber party that they had back in the fall of 2018. That slumber party is epic. That video is still up. It's 8 hours and 25 minutes long if you want to check Lioness of Judah. Then going forward, she put out a lot of content that was damaging the Jaguar. That's the reason why Jaguar don't want to be on the internet anymore. A lot of that has to do with Tasha K and Storm Monroe. Then coming into 2021 around March, after she lost her subscriber count, she lost 25K subs with the Jaguar Wright interview. She was able to pick it up with Derek Jackson. Now, the Derek Jackson thing is interesting because Derek Jackson was a person who basically was cool with Tasha K in her early days on YouTube. But Tasha K wanted Derek Jackson to talk viciously about Cardi B. He said no. Off the bat, he became her enemy. For 2 years, she never talked bad about him until the scandal hit when he was turned out to be a fraud. She went in, not just on him, she found one of the mistresses, and the video garnered about 3 million. Within 1 month, she got over 100K subs. That's what put her credibility, in quotations, back on the map. And that was when she was able to basically get to the 100 million mark. Had the whole Derek Jackson thing never happened, Homegirl would now be sitting at about 850K by now. She wouldn't even be at, okay, I'm going to say 870K. Okay? So that's basically the fall, the summer. So then in 2021, we get in heavy. I don't know who else she fucks over because she's messed over a whole lot of people. I'm trying to think of it. Who else has she done dirty? Oh, Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, she been talking crazy about Wendy. She been talking crazy about Kelvin. Not the kid, though. She stayed away from the kid. She been talking crazy about the kid. In total, I just named practically close to 25, if not 25 names of big, high-profile people she's done dirty. Or she has been disingenuous with. Oh, and we also have to talk about the United States Postal Service people because she also threatened them too when they served her with the lawsuit. Yeah, Storm Monroe. Yep. Storm Monroe, they said that thing is a little fake, but still, I would say Von Ray, she sort of did dirty because Von Ray, because everybody knows Storm Monroe is he's not straight. I'm not saying he's gay, but he is not for us as he's not for us women. He's not for us. And if you look at those photos with him and Von Ray, I believe something went on. And I believe he was happy. But Tasha K is not really a friend of the community. She just uses people in the LGBT community. Like she was using Marquise Wally from the Wally Show. And then she don't need him anymore. She dumped him. You know? He's a gay man who wants to marry a woman. And I think a lot of these men are saying this because they want to be in Tasha K's good graces. But they say Tasha K's husband allegedly is not really, he's part of the Rainbow Coalition. It's been alleged that people have been talking about it. You know, what I'm doing right now is not slander, because this is something that's been mentioned in the blogs going back to 2018. And, you know, it's sad that a woman like her had to stoop that low, and she didn't have to. But you know, it's real sad that even when the case made its way through court, you had YouTubers that was still kissing her ass. And a lot of YouTubers that was kissing her ass, I'm not talking about people that genuinely, you know, liked her brand before all the mess was going on, but around like 2019, kissing her ass, a lot of them, I'm not gonna lie, I stopped watching. I literally stopped watching because they were willing to sell their souls to this woman, because this woman was basically telling people, I could make your channel pop. I could get you, right now you have 7K subs. I can get you at least 40K. She was gassing people up like that. She was gassing people up. And you know what's funny? You know the YouTuber Infamous? She basically, impressive. She basically surpassed 1 million almost two years ago. We're in 2022. 2020, she made it to 1 million with her documentaries. And Impressive never had to basically clown and do the shit she did. But Impressive also allegedly, it's been alleged that Impressive lied on Cardi B too. And Impressive doesn't like Cardi B. But unlike Tasha K, Impressive never went the bullying route. That's why Cardi B didn't sue her. But Impressive isn't all that nice either. But I'm gonna tell you a blogger that I really love and respect, and I can tell you she never sold her soul. Layla Lynn. Shout her out. She arrived on YouTube literally 2 months after Tasha K with a video about the firing of Tamar Braxton from The Real. That, I would say, is one ethical YouTuber who has 360K subs. She's doing it the right way. She's been on here now for 6 years. She never sold her soul. She never lied on anyone. And she's a Christian, but she's not those in your face Christians, you know, want to rub it down and everything. Yep. Okay, hold up, RJam. I gotta read this out loud. Unfortunately, if YouTube doesn't delete Tasha's channels, the Y Note stepped up to donate $1 to $10 a piece, paying off the entire $1 to $3 million judgment ASAP. You know what, RJam? You know, this is so absurd. But as asinine as this is, I honestly believe you. Because those winos as drunk as shit. Let me tell you what one of the winos did on my channel this afternoon. Sunday, I posted a video about whatever happened to Star Marie. Now, I later found out Star Marie was named. If you go on my channel, you'll see the cover photo of the lawsuit papers that Cardi filed against not only Latasha Kebby, but also Star Marie Jones. Now, the reason why they were able to file them is because Star Marie actually lived in Georgia. Now, Star Marie was telling people when the lawsuit papers was filed, it was like, oh, you know, your name was mentioned. She was like, I didn't get anything. That's because she was staying up in New York. They served her according to her Georgia address. So because of that, after March of 2019, you didn't hear from her at all. So this is saying that it's been alleged that Star Marie basically made a deal with Cardi B's lawyers. I don't know if it's true. It does seem plausible. Shout out to Sean Davey Wade. He was the one that reported it. And he's another person that she screwed over too. That's another person. As well as Bobby Light. She lied on him and said he had an STD. He's planning to sue her. And so We don't know. But this person came on my channel and basically said, you is lying. Tasha K is not okay. Let me see. Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna go on my channel and read it. Hold on. I'm gonna read it because and I was like, no fact matter. Cardi B won. Daytime tea time. That's another person. That's about 30 right there. Daytime tea time. She's another one. But she was one of, that's the true Vulcan. She was one of the minions. She was one of the minions. Vaughn is Storm's new view. Okay. Let me see what else. Okay. Yep. She's allegedly a barb. Impressive is a barb. I like Layla Lynn. And you want to know what's funny though? Impressive came out around the same time as Layla Lynn. And I feel, this is just me, I feel as though Impressive, I don't want to say copied in total, but I feel that she took elements of Layla Lynn and ran with it. Because if you follow the intros back in 2016, 2017, Layla Lynn's intros were just like, no, Impress's intros were just like Layla Lynn's. Because they were the first ones to do the cover photos with the multiple celebrities, famous people on them. Nobody, and I mean nobody was doing that until they were the ones to do it. Like Lovely T always had the Lovely T logo with the red and the purple. She always had that. But they had the ones where they used the multiple photos. And then people started using the watermarks. And that's the only way you could tell the difference. Hey Charmaine. Hey Charmaine. I hate Tasha K. Took this route because I don't care for Cardi B. Take this route because okay, so you do not like Cardi B at all. Took this route. Now let me ask you a question. Do you think that Tasha K should be liable? Are you a Tasha K fan? Because I've always said this. Anybody who's a Tasha K fan, who's a whiner, or just like her content, but calls out her nonsense, it's cool with me. Because there are subs of mine that are Tasha K fans. Going back to 2018, and they're cool with me. I never had an issue. But there are a lot of winos back from back then that basically try to threaten me. When I made the video about how she was going at Lionel and Jessica Reed and stuff. Now, a lot of people, we got to keep it real. A lot of people don't like Cardi B. A lot of people feel that she's anti-black. She was calling a black lady roach, which is indicative of her racism towards black women. They feel that she's a bad image in hip hop. They feel that she didn't work that hard to get into hip hop. They feel that all the accolades are given to her because to spite Nicki Minaj. And I have a lot of family members that feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. And I don't think that's the reason why they was riding for Tasha on this. I think people wanted Tasha to win for two reasons. One, they liked her content because in the beginning, I loved her content. I was a subscriber. I subscribed to Tasha K around about the summer of 16. When she did the video for the Muslims and then the one about Janet Jackson and then the African wedding, that shit was funny. It was funny. I mean, if Tasha K would have never took this route, Tasha K by now would be on a show on NBC, ABC, Fox, commentating. She probably would have her own daytime show with a whole bunch of bloggers. She probably would be working with people like not I don't want to say Perez Hilton. I would say Bevy Smith. She probably would be. I would say Tasha K would have ended up on the E channel by now. She would be on E News. Okay, Vulcan said, I know Daytime Tea Time used to be one of Tasha's minions. But fortunately, she saw the light and left Tasha Jackson long before too late. Yep, Daytime Tea Time, Candace. Because remember, she made the comment that Candace didn't show her face until after the whole thing, after they had the falling out. And once she showed her face, it was only because she basically wanted people to know who she was. Because if you remember, back in early 2018, Candace was like, I'll never show my face. But then she started making insinuations about her family, her husband, because Candace is, if I'm not mistaken, Candace is from Buffalo, New York. I know Candace is an AKA. She's college educated. And I remember even as far back as October 18, they were still cool. But by that November, they had to fall out. And then Candace became cool with Armand Wiggins because, you know, the whole thing happened around that time. And that's why Candace took up for Armand against Jaguar Wright, because it was like, no, you're not going to talk about my friend. You're not going to call him the F word. So I find her to be, you know, have integrity and stuff. I don't really watch Candace Daytime Tea Time, but I will say she's a very attractive woman. She carries herself well. And I'm happy to see that she was able to do stuff without her. Oh, and also another person who became an enemy and a victim was Toxic Diamond. Toxic Diamond, they eventually had to fall out. And also, I want to say, people may not like this person. I kind of like her, even though I'm disappointed in the route that she took too. I don't want to say I kind of like her, but I was a sub. But she's back now. The mermaid woman. I can't think of her name. Not her name. I don't want to say her real name, but she's a lesbian. She got the mermaids and sharks. She became a very good friend to Jaguar Wright. And I can't think, and I know her name. Cause okay, her Sweet Marfin Life. Who else? Oh my god. Oh my god, I know her name. Her real name is Marlene. I believe her real name is Marlene. Yeah, I can't think of, if you know, no, Nosy Ho, thank you, IC. Nosy Ho, yes. Nosy Ho. But I'm gonna tell you something. I saw that 5-hour live. It was her, Sweet Marfa Life, and Jaguar Wright did, and then Tasha K invaded. She told Tasha K, you gonna respect my platform. You're not gonna act disparaging and coming on here and talking bad about people. And Tasha K humbled herself and was like, yes, ma'am, I apologize. I'm not gonna do that. But told Jaguar Wright that she was a crazy bitch. And I feel that this lawsuit, I think Jaguar Wright may sue her too. Because the way she lied, she called her crazy. She basically lied before the whole interviews and stuff, was trying to insinuate that she was mental and crazy. I mean, it was bad. RJM wrote, her $1 million subscribers has backed her faithfully through the trial. Yep. Again, 1 million subscribers donate $1 to $10 million will cover it all with the lottery check left over. Bingo. Bingo. They will. Let me tell you something. If they all collectively agree, all 1 million of them, to be like, you know what? We're gonna give her like, let's give her $5 each. She will be worth 5 million. But I believe they'll give her 10 so that they'll be able to cover the cost. That's why when she left court today and she posted on Twitter, because I just did an upload, she basically said, oh, my winos, I know y'all have my back. And I'm like, Biffa, why are you saying that? They'll have your back. And that's because she knows that they're going to pay her money. But get this. Here's the T, and here's the catch-22. They could do all of that and then some and make her a millionaire. But guess what? The judge can still say, I want the channel. It will be taken down. The judge can do all that. Because see, the 1.25 million right now is just the minimum. Because if you read the lawsuit papers, they wanted a minimum of 25K. And Cardi and her legal team were like, you know what, let's just settle. Let's just put this behind. I don't even want to go to court. Cardi said, if you take the videos down, I will not sue you. Take the videos down. But Tasha K was loving every minute of it. Every minute of it. And look what happened. I'm not a wino, but I like her content. She's wrong for doubling down online. Point blank, period. And you know what? And that's a fair assessment. Like, I was never a wino. I'm a tea sipper. But her content initially was very good. It was funny, entertaining, and I felt that from 2016 up until the end of 2017. I felt that the first 2 years of Unwound with Tasha K, she was mostly herself. Now I'm gonna go back and say something. Oh, Nosy Ho is nothing but a mini Tasha. You know what? Yeah, she became that with the whole thing with all Monica, the Avatar, scandal. Yeah. Now I'm gonna say something. So all those who may not know this, Tasha K has been doing shows, but having radio shows going back to 2013. She used to do a show on radio called Health for Wealth. And the show was basically about health, herbal remedies, juicing, and natural life because Tasha K believes in herbal remedies. That's why if you remember the audio, of the interview with her and Star Marie, she spoke about Dr. Sebi. And they sort of bonded over that because she believes in the herbal medicinal practice of basically dieting and that lifestyle. She's a vegan, so she says. She doesn't even drink soda. She only drinks wine. That's like the only intoxicant she does. But nobody listened to Tasha K. So because nobody listened to Tasha K, when it came to that, Tasha K and the investors, they wanted her to do something else because it was so much money they had poured in to the Health for Wealth brand. And she learned that no one wanted to hear about positive things. So it was, I either do like sketches, skits about things that are happening and do commentary from that, or I could talk about famous people. Initially, Tasha K did the thing with the sketches, like I had mentioned with the Janet Jackson. Just go back to her oldest videos and you'll see it. And she got a lot of views for that. But it wasn't making people money. and it wasn't getting her brand out there because they wanted a star, the people that have money invested in her. So that's when Tasha K said, I'll go and talk about people, famous people. She never wanted to do this. She wanted to do lifestyles. But not only did her fans eat it up, but also the people behind the machine. They wanted more. So she had to give more. And to a point, I believe that she did get caught up when it came to the Cardi thing. I believe there were other people in the background like, oh yeah, get Cardi. Because remember, like I said, a lot of people did not like Cardi. Remember, she was talking about Nicki. She was talking about Kaya. She was talking about a lot of famous people. But those people were not, they weren't hated on like Cardi, the dislike. So her going after Cardi was basically like this champion. She was basically taking up a cause for people that were being dirtied over by her. Now, remember the whole thing with the makeup artist Swan? That whole thing, the makeup artist Swan got 10 million off of that video. Her other video since then, she barely gets 50K views. And she talked about it, and she basically got, love from the winos and everything. Also, I want to say that Tasha K story is going to be, I don't care what people, maybe want to believe me on this. I believe there will be a movie loosely based on this. This is going to have this is going to be a documentary. This is going to be famous. Tasha K is infamous. She's going to have documentaries after her with this. I'm telling you, a lot is going to come after this. Our Jam said something very, very important. YouTube has been snatching people's channels for far less. Why is her channel still active? Excellent point. I've been saying this since 2000, and I would say that like the end of 2018. Yeah. And that's because of the theory that I've been saying, which is the people that Tasha could say invested in her brand. I believe they are cool with people that work at YouTube and they look out for her. Because Lovely T, and I hate to say that, I mentioned Lovely T in this, but it's because Lovely T and her at one time had an alliance. And also, too, Lovely T has been getting flagged with videos taken down, going back as far back as 2016, because the stuff that she was talking about was real. So before Tasha K was really a thought of to the masses of YouTube viewers, they was going at Lovely T. They was going at different ones. Do y'all remember a YouTuber named Yash Kara? For all of us, that goes back to the golden era of YouTube. He left YouTube a long time ago because back in 2016, he pulled all his videos because he said the change of YouTube was coming to where you weren't going to be able to say what you want to say freely. So if you were a conspiracy theorist, your channels are gone. And all the conspiracy theorists, it's just maybe a couple of them, they left YouTube. They're gone. No more. No more. It's a wrap. All those videos, they're gone. And it's sad. And that paved the way for the T channel, because except for Lovely T was the only one that was given the T channel, but Lovely T never gave like inside like honey. Like she would just tell stuff that actually happened. But the T channels, that comes up around the time of 2016. Vulcan says Nosy got her come up by lying on Tasha to begin with before she blew the Jennifer house story up. Really? Yeah, I want to know. Now that's interesting. Oh, and by the way, Jennifer Howe basically she dropped her case against Kenneth Petty and Nicki Minaj. And I'm gonna say something. I always had some doubts with Jennifer Howe, especially when her family came forward. I'm just gonna leave that right there. But I mean, I hope she wasn't lying at the same time though. But I don't know. I mean, I hope I'm wrong about that one. Probably because this is a part of the trial hasn't happened yet. Mm. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, so there's a Russian person. It says volume. I don't know Russian. Yeah, surviving jaguar. That was sad. You know what? Our jam. I'm gonna comment on that. I'm gonna comment on that because I feel as though they're going to pay for the lawsuit. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if she does that, that would be real dirty of her. But Cardi B could even say the lawyers and even the judge could say, yeah, we're not gonna take the money from the fans. They'll take it from the channel. They'll take it from her assets. Yeah, I think it's a troll too. Cause I don't know what Von Rent means. I don't know. I'm gonna put this use on a timeout. Cause I don't know what it means. I don't know. But I'm about to wrap up in a couple of minutes because I'm really, I got a whole bunch of stuff to do. I got things. I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be up probably until I would say 2 o'clock tonight and everything. But I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I have a question to ask. Do y'all think YouTube is gonna come off better from this? Do you think that YouTube is gonna become whack now? Do you think the popularity of YouTube is over with? Because let's say they take down her channel. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a part of me wants her channel taken down, but a part of me wants the channel to be up, and that all the money from the channel goes to Cardi B. Because the thing is that if they take Tasha K's channel down, the winos will start bitching, like the hardcore winos, and they'll probably start attacking other people. Okay, so RJM wrote, the lead attorney said he personally he's watched Tasha commit perjury over 50 times and still charges for that. Okay, now here's the thing about that. They're coming back to court. They're going back to court tomorrow. And that's going to be brought up to the perjury. Now, the perjury charges, she faces up to 5 years in prison. That's why, and I'm glad you brought up the thing with the money, because I think that she wants people to pay for that because she knows that she'll have to go for criminal, which is federal. They're going to mention that. They could charge her tomorrow for perjury. They could arrest her for perjury counts. And if she's committed perjury 50 times, one count of perjury, oh my Lord Jesus Christ. Because one count is up to 5 years. So they could be like one per year times 50. That's 50 years. I think IC 7690 says, I think YouTube will still continue to guard people protected. Yep. And that's going to make them look bad because now, because see, what's going to happen now is if somebody's channel goes down for basically getting flagged for basically saying things that, because they curse a lot, or they talk about a particular person, but not maliciously in terms of lying or slander. Now all these people's channels can basically, they can sue. Like, remember when Young Pharaoh sued and got his channel back, but then now the channel's gone? You're gonna have a lot of people suing. Oh, and he's the last one also. He's got beef with Tasha K too. But see, Young Pharaoh's been commenting and communicating with the aliens for too long. And Young Pharaoh, I mean, that's sad. Still no charges yet. Yep, still no charges yet. Vulcan says, I was subscribed to Nosy Ho the first time before her channel got deleted, and all she did was lie or expose Tasha K. Now, you know what, Vulcan? I never heard of Nosy Ho until the fall of 2020. I never came across her channel until she started talking about Jaguar Wright. There was a lot of people's channels I didn't know about. So, like, if you could tell me, what did she lie exactly on Tasha K? Because the thing with me is that I could have talked about Tasha K on my channel back in 2018. If I would have talked about Tasha K that fall, like every day, I would have had now, I would say maybe 7K subs. But I didn't want to. Yep, if Little Kim served 1 year in prison for perjury, Tasha K better get charged. Yep. Now that's something that we could all say. Y'all better charge her, because then we know that she's working for the powers that be if she don't go down. Then we know. Then we know for sure. Someone better call DCFS. So that's the Department of Child Family Services. Okay. So up in New York, we call it ACS, Administration for Children's Services. Back in the day, we called it BCW. So I know what you're saying. I think it was nosy or toxic, I think. Yeah. Nosy, it might have been toxic, because the reason being is because her and Toxic was going at it real bad, especially around the Jaguar thing. And Toxic was basically saying that she didn't have an issue with Jaguar at first, but Nosy made it bad. And then also too, Nosy was making things bad with Tales from the Cult. But I don't like Tales from the Cult anymore, because I don't like what she did when it came to Toxic Diamond's mom. But the thing is that Toxic made a great point, and the great point that she made was, you know, you basically only want to be the only person to talk to Jaguar Wright. And Jaguar Wright basically turned on people, YouTubers, because of Nosy Ho, with the exception of Armand and Tasha K. That was later on. That was her own. That was Jaguar's own judgment. But also, there was another one, the guy, the Millie guy, the Billy, the Vanilli guy, something like that. They all wait. Someone called Child Protective Services on Tasha K, and you think it was nosy or toxic? You know what? I would say that would be nosy. I don't think that's a toxic play, and I'm gonna tell you why. I think. Wait, hold on. It was because she had a lie, and someone she was beefing with called DCF and recorded it. It was just, oh yeah. Okay, I remember this now. Okay, that was early January of 2021. That was the whole thing. You're talking about, it was Jack. Okay, you're talking about when Toxic was in Las Vegas, and she was staying in a hotel, and she had her daughter. And at the time, her daughter was like 12 years old. And the daughter and her, basically, they went downstairs. Supposedly, now my memory is jaded, because a lot of stuff happened to me around that time between November of 2020, really December 2020, and May, July. So I wasn't on YouTube making content like that, but I was really invested in Jaguar Wright's story. So that was one of the only things I was really watching. But other than that, I literally don't remember a lot of stuff because of my own personal issues when it comes to my job. So if I say something and I misquote, help me out. The little girl was in the hotel room. Toxic was downstairs. And somebody basically came up and she went back upstairs, and they was trying to say that when she was downstairs with the child, her child was downstairs at the store. They try to say that she was basically malicious, treating her daughter really like malicious. She was like basically hitting her and cursing her out and so forth. And she went upstairs, and then she got a knock on the door, and she got arrested. And it was somebody from Child Protective Services. Me, either Vulcan said it was because she had a beef with someone she was beefing with called DCFS. Yeah, I believe it's a Jaguar, but here's the thing: I believe Jaguar only did it for Nosy Ho. And then after that, now remember, Toxic basically reported her to the Las Vegas PD, and she basically was like, "I think y'all need to look into the passing of her oldest son, because I wouldn't be surprised if she had him killed." Because I saw that video, and that video is up there. It was I just confirmed it was Jag. Yeah. And you know what? I gotta keep it real too. Jag was taking a lot of L's left and right because she was getting caught up in a lot of that BS also. And that's why I think she also left too by April of March of 2021. It's like she got tired of it and she just bounced. And then Nosy Ho moved to Manhattan, the same place where I'm at now. That's where Nosy Ho is. And I've never seen her. Vulcan, the Nosy Ho, yeah, the Nosy Ho and Toxic drama was tiring. And you know what, it was tiring because it should never happen. And to a point, I don't think it was really all that authentic. I think she was doing it, Nosy Ho, like you said, because she had lost her channel before and she was trying to come back. And a lot of YouTubers do that too. And like I said, at the time, I liked Nosy Ho. I'm gonna tell you why I got disappointed with Nosy Ho. I was really disappointed with Nosy Ho because I felt that the whole thing between her and the girlfriend, I felt that that was not the best relationship. And then Nosy Ho talked about not getting the jab. And then they always talk about not getting the jab. Even investigating that DMX must have, passed from the jab. Then come to find out she's going to get the jab. Now, I all believe in body autonomy. But come to find out, she only got the jab because she wanted to go have fun in New York and go to the club. Because that's when it was passing the mandates that you couldn't go into any entertainment venues unless you had it. I just pray Nosy and Tails from the cult don't link up because the two are literally the same person. Oh no, they're not going to link up. I don't think you have to pray for that because they don't like each other. They actually had a falling out back in October of 20 because of Jaguar Wright. They're not going to link up. I got disappointed with Nosy mistreating her girlfriend. Then the whole, yes, AATT situation. Okay. Now, All About the Tea. Yes. Shout out to Monica from All About the Tea. Monica was the person that revealed the story about Tim Norman and the insurance, which basically helped to garner my highest viewed content. My highest upload on YouTube is from a story that she broke. And I do believe that Tim Norman plans to do that to his mom. Monica is from what I've seen of her, I don't think Monica is like a lovey-dovey, nice, sweet person, but I think she means well. Monica didn't want her face to be shown because in that industry, a lot of times, if you give out exclusive tea, it can cause harm. People can be out to hurt you. So she jumped on that all because the woman Ples had a falling out with her. And it was sad because the All About the Tea affiliate panel, that was a really good panel. I used to listen to them. I used to listen to the Bishop, Schoolboy. I used to listen to the woman Ardella. What's her name? Her name wasn't Ardella. What was her name? Marcella. And like you said, she protected her face because she knows the game. Yeah, it was all a part of the game. And the way Nosy Ho went after the lady in New Orleans. Remember the lady in New Orleans that she said, and no, in Louisiana, she said was Monica. And then that guy tricked Nosy into thinking that was her. They eventually had a falling out. And remember, the woman had a special needs daughter, and the special needs daughter was even put on blast. And I said, Nosy, don't do that. And she was telling people, I am not that child. I'm not Monica. And she was like, no, you Monica Talbert. Yeah, you are Monica Talbert. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Nosy Ho claimed that 7 people was Monica Talbert. Monica, yo, she even got this fat woman. I got to call away this fat woman from LinkedIn, knew all her business. The woman was from Alabama and was like, that B is from people, doxing people, all these people. And Nosy was wrong for that. Because my thing is this, unless you get an exclusive where it's like everybody is on one accord that this is her, and you stay on that one person, that's one thing. But you still don't dox them. But she put out addresses. She put out where the person worked, where they went to school at, the person's friends. She was getting like the boyfriend. Remember if you remember the lady from New Orleans, she basically got the business about this woman, the tea about her, about how she basically divorced her first husband and got with the second husband, how she mistreats the special needs daughter, how she basically was cheating on the first husband and got the second husband, how the second husband don't really love her, then how she's in a sorority, so she really can't. And the lady was telling her, I'm involved, I'm in my church, I have a special needs child that I'm taking care of. Like, woman, I am not All About the Tea. I don't even go on YouTube like that. She sure did. She sure did. Vulcan said, it was funny when Monica showed herself, but Nosy was so hard to try and find out who Monica. Yes. I mean, she was dedicated. This woman was dedicated to the cause. I mean, she was going hard in the paint for this thing to get Monica on my seat. And I'm gonna be honest with you, why I feel she was doing this. This is my theory. I believe that once the Jaguar Wright situation calmed down, she was trying to get put onto other platforms. Now, at one time, she was an affiliate with Chantel's World, the woman out in Las Vegas. I like her content because she basically stays on her own bubble and so forth. And she was even featured in People's Magazine for one of her contents about the Jennifer Huff situation. So she was trying to like claw her way to the top and get there. But what happened was she had an issue with Wally. And I don't like Wally from the Wally show. And her and Wally had beef because if you remember, back in 2018, Wally trashed the library. He trashed the Dallas library, and she said that he basically stripped naked and was shouting Emmett Till, which he didn't strip naked. But what he did do, he did trash the library because I saw the video and it was bad. And Wally was basically letting her know, okay, Nosy, I just have gotten over that. Please don't put that video back up. And Wally is messy, but if somebody has a mental disorder and that's a trigger point, I wouldn't go as far as that trigger point and put that back up. She didn't care. And it was because he became an affiliate of All About the Tea. And he still is an affiliate of All About the Tea. And I believe that she wanted to be an affiliate of All About the Tea and she got rejected. And it was like, you rejected me? And then the panel fell apart. Then Wally comes up on the panel, and then Wiley was talking about just a couple of weeks ago how this woman tried to ruin his life. And people celebrated the removal of Nosy Ho's channel. Now, I will say this. I disagreed with her channel being removed and not Tasha's, but I think they kept it up because of the court case too. But one thing Tasha never did, she never, if I'm not mistaken, I don't believe she ever doxed people to where it was putting their address online. Because, because another YouTuber that did a lot of dirt too, and I like him though, but he did a lot of dirt, was the King of Reeds when he was Justin J. If you remember, he would tell people to throw away, to like get rid of people's channel, because he was the one that wanted Armand Wiggins off of YouTube. And I believe he was sort of doing that for Tasha K also, but he wanted Armand off of YouTube. He wanted him gone. Yeah, she was dedicated like the FBI. You know what's sad? She never got an award for it. She never got a medal. She never even got deputized. She never even got a medal of honor for all her hard work. Nosy's mental stability seems to be on the rocks. So for her to try and out someone for that episode, the pot calling the kettle black. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is. Yeah. You know what it is with Nosy? You know what is sad about her? You know, it's one thing if you don't believe in, it's one thing if you don't believe in a high power. But it's another thing when you don't even want people talking about the Bible around you. And that's really sad. And, you know, she's a self-affirming, proud Black lesbian. You know, that's what it is when it comes to, that's who she is. And you can be proud of who you are. But at the same token, I think that Nosy Ho does not, I think she hates men. I think she hates the male species. And that's the thing that scares me about her. It's the hate. And then the situation that happened with her wife, that was real sad. That was sad. That hurt me too. But I don't know. I think you have a point there. I see. Wiley is messy as hell. He was just doing a live this morning saying Tasha was going to win. Okay, you know what? I'm not surprised he did that. He was doing that because he's still trying to get in Tasha's good graces. See, Wiley, if you remember, Wiley snaked Armand to get into Tasha's good graces back in 2018. And Wiley basically has been on YouTube since 2010, doing this for 10 years. He just cracked 25K subs. I have 1, 2, 3 uploads. One I have on private, but I have uploads that have more views than him. And I only have 2.8 subs. That is sad. That is really sad to basically be on YouTube for 10 years and you've had this channel and you just now popping. And you haven't even cracked the 50K mark. And the person that got on YouTube 7 years after you has 135K subs. And that's Armand Wiggins. And you were trying to snake him because at that time he had more. Because when I first encountered Wiley had about 3K subs, which is good. Then everybody was socializing, you know, siding with Cardi or siding with Tasha. And it benefited from him for a while. I'm not going to lie. But then he thought he was going to be that mentee, but she chose Storm because Storm was fresh in the game on YouTube. He wasn't stale. And if you remember, Wiley had the dirt with the accusation of sexual assault. So she sort of like distanced herself from him. So he's always wanted to be Team Tasha. because he always wants to have the success at Storm. But now he went with Monica, and Monica's giving him a chance, and he should be more loyal to her. But Wiley is a snake. Wiley is a clout chaser, twerks on the fences with opinions. It's like, dude, where do you stand? He jumped on AATT, but he had that flare up. Now, Tasha, yep, that's true. He's a snake. He's a snake in the grass, I see. He sure is. He really is a snake. I never trust him. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I do like that intro of his channel. Da 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 da. Let me shut up because he might want to flag that for doing that. But I like that intro. I ain't gonna lie. That intro was dope. That's like the one thing I will say about his channel. That intro was dope. But other than that, no, I don't rock with dude. I think he's unethical. I don't trust him. And there was if you've seen the videos that shout out to the Lituation, King Payne. He basically mentioned how the grandmother, him and Armand Wiggins in an interview, and the Lituation, King Payne, put it back up. He basically said that Wiley assaulted the grandmother. Now I listen to his content because I like listening to callers who call in because the audience is need more mature for some reason. But personally, I don't know. And you know what? That is the truth. But you know what it is too? That's because Wiley, a lot of Wiley's interests are very positive. He's into community organizing. He's very much good with talking about politics. I will say that. Even Armand said that too. He's very good with that. And I think that that's the direction Wiley should be going into. I think Wiley should be talking about politics and history, but mainly politics in America. And I also think he should talk about issues with being in the LGBT community and also having mental illness. Because I think that sometimes you gotta rebrand yourself. You could still have the same name, but just go from one thing to another. Because a lot of YouTubers have done that. A lot of YouTubers have gone from conspiracy theories to talking about, tea, or doing conspiracy theories, talking about and doing like skits, original content. You got people that produce movies on YouTube and stuff, have mini concerts. It's all about your content and you brand yourself. But he wants to stay in that tea sector because he thinks it's cool, because that's that messy side of him. But he gonna learn. Cups of Conversation, just one YouTuber with the audio of her saying, yeah, Cups of Conversation. Whatever happened to Seven Wands? I know that's random for me saying that, but whatever happened to Seven Wands? I've been on here for 1 hour and 23 minutes. You all made this fun. I want to shout out Vulcan 2054. I want to shout out IC 7690. I want to shout out RJam. Charmine Drayden, one of my subs that comments a lot. I want to also give a shout out to people that's been watching this evening, listening. I want to say something in closing. I love YouTube. I would say YouTube heals me and saved me from a lot of situations, particularly when my aunt passed away. And I was on YouTube that summer of 10 a lot. And I was dealing with anxiety issues. Also, YouTube. Yes, I see. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you. Also, YouTube was a great escapism of my reality, and I'm sure many people's reality. I never thought of becoming a content creator. I was a person that would be on YouTube with my BlackBerry. and just watching away. And I really started listening to a lot of music on YouTube. And this is what I would call the golden era of YouTube, when it was just all fun and cool. Nobody was being messy. Like, you really couldn't even be messy. Back then, YouTube was more strict. They was free with the content. But if you would come off as threatening, as a troll, you would basically be banned. Like, you couldn't be on YouTube. They would kick you off. You couldn't even be on there commenting. And I remember I had a BlackBerry, so you couldn't comment unless you had a Google email. I didn't have Google at the time because BlackBerry only had a BlackBerry email and I had my Yahoo. So I'm like, okay, I don't have Google, so I can't even comment. Then came 2013 and I got my Samsung and I had my first Android phone. And I remember by then I would create a Google Plus account, because when you create a Google Plus account, that's what allowed you to be able to comment. So I started commenting here and there, but I was not Miss Analytical at that time. I was just myself. And I remember back then, I used to get a kick out of watching the shit that people say. I loved it. It made me so happy watching it in 2012. And there was a YouTuber that actually blew up. And I was so proud of her. Her name is Amira Brunson. And she used to do sketches. She still have a channel up, but she stopped because she went out to Hollywood and she starred on a Tyler Perry show. But she never really popped after the show ended. But look her up. Her content is amazing. And I know she hasn't posted any because I get all the notifications. I hope she's doing good. I hope she's really doing good. Another thing too is that I started contemplating joining YouTube in 2015. I wanted to do it, but I didn't know what direction to go at. And I was sort of like, I don't know, should I join or should I not join? And then by 2017, I said, I'm going to do it. And that's when I created my channel. And I got inspired to really go on YouTube, because I saw people such as Lovely T, Superboy 223, Nicole's View, Alexander Rogers. Also, there were YouTubers from the golden era of YouTube, a woman named Holly Hood who passed away. And I met her in 2014 when I was a student in college at the school called TCI. I met her she just came to visit. I didn't even know she was going to be there. Look up her YouTube videos. Amazing work. Yes, they still make Blackberries. And I will never use one again. I feel that was a bad period of my life. Well, I would say bad period, but I feel that the BlackBerry was kind of jinxy though. So I'm team Android all day, every day. But they still make them. They just dropped one last year. Another thing is that there were people that were doing reviews, and I wanted to actually do reviews on my channel. I was going to do everything, but I didn't end up having the time to do reviews and stick with them because I ended up working on a job where I had to be early in the morning. So that's why there were like a lot of gaps when I first started my channel. And then I started consistently really going at it in 2018. A lot of my best work is in 2018. But then the next year, I couldn't do it a lot. And then I couldn't do it a lot in 2020. 2021, I didn't come back until July. But since November, I've been sticking with it. And kid you not, 2021, I produced 101 uploads. More so than 2020 and 2019. I will say this, I'm proud of my channel. I'm proud of my channel, and I'm proud that I have a tight following of people. I don't have 10K subs. I don't even have 5K subs. I'm across 2K. But I'm proud that I was, and I to tell you something. I've been away so long, and I lost, I lost out on a lot of stuff. But to say that I'm not gonna somebody, Tasha K has the most ups, and what is she doing? She can't even celebrate. She lost. She lost. Her brand on YouTube will never be the same. Her winos, they can band together and pay for it, but it shows that our community, we got to grow up as Black people. We got to mature. And to me, that's something that I feel is very much so in terms of the things that we as Black people, as a team, we don't really call out the nonsense. If the community would have told Tasha K, I'm not supporting this. If her winos would have said, it's not cool slandering this woman, Tasha K would have been like, oh, I don't know what the fuck now to do. She would have had no choice but to be like, I can't go this route. I'm gonna have to do something else because my subs, they don't want to fuck with me with this. She would have had to basically be a better content creator. But the community, I feel, of her winos, they failed her too. They got to show money out and support her, but they have a loyal following. They will go to the ends of the world with her. I feel that this is some type of Jim Jones situation at this point. I see, because if they're willing to pay money, that's like drinking the Kool-Aid. That's like drinking the Kool-Aid, pretty much. And I feel, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I love us as a people, but I feel that we lost too. I feel that Tasha K made Black women look bad. People worldwide have a view of us. And it's like we're trying to fight for so many things. We're trying to fight for reparations. We're trying to fight to, have like laws protected, be protected. We're trying to get jobs. We're trying to, be on the equal level playing field of our white counterparts. And Tasha, you do some dumb shit like this. And this is something that could have been prevented. And I feel as though we have some bad apples in our group, and we got to call them out. We got to call this out. RJam, yeah, RJam also. We got to call this out. This shit is not cool. It's not cool at all. We are up against a fight to get reparations. And people individually and families are getting reparations from the US government, whether it's local, state, some are now even on federal cases. They could look at this case and say, oh, a Black woman slandered a Hispanic woman, especially since they're trying to bring Hispanics over into this country. Do you know they could say, oh, we don't see you as victims because we see people on YouTube, many of you all slandering people and encouraging slander. And that could mess up our justice claim. That's why I've been going hard in the paint speaking out against this. Tasha K is an idiot. No ifs, ands, or buts. She's an idiot. And she's an idiot that is bad for business, and she's bad for our brand, and she's bad for Black people. She's bad. This is not 1992. This ain't even 2002. Hell, this ain't even 2012, YouTube era. This is 2022. Nobody's playing games anymore. We're dealing with a pandemic. When all this was going on with her, there was no pandemic. Now there's a pandemic, or an endemic, as you want to say. And we all want to move on. And we all want this government more than anything to treat us fairly. You went to the federal court and lost while we're going to the federal government trying to get justice for ourselves. We're trying to basically get jobs for our people, jobs that are going to other groups of people, laws that are going to people who haven't been here for years, decades, centuries even. You're a descendant of American slavery, Tasha K. And this is how you pay your ancestors back. This is how you pay the people back that basically did this. And I see, yep, she while she was working with her sponsors, and mission is accomplished on their end. On their end, not on her end, but on her end. I'm glad you mentioned that. And Tasha K basically sold her soul to the person who sponsored her. And it's another problem that we have in our community because we're quick to sell our souls and we don't think about the group. We think about ourselves, but not the whole. And I believe that a lot of what she did, we're going to pay for that shit. This dumb woman did this. And you got winos who are dumb. The dumb winos is co-signing this. And that's what makes me mad. So I'm about to wrap it up. I thank each and every one of y'all for showing up on this live. This was supposed to be no more than like 40 minutes max. It's been almost 2 hours, but I want to say something. I had a great time. I had a great time talking, but I'm going to still be up until 2 o'clock this morning because I got quite a bit of things to take care of. And so I will talk to each and every one of y'all soon. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being my subs. And thank you for appreciating my authenticity. And with that, I say good night, everyone. Later.